Mattis is the navigator for Wild Oats 11. You're after 7? Yep, 7. How would you describe the weather that you expect for Boxing Day?
Yeah, look, it's setting up really nicely at the moment. Nice downwind run, but still 6 days out. We're hoping that stays, but hope's not a great strategy, I found.
Obviously, you've got Perpetual. It seems to be a 2-horse race. They're the underdog.
Oh, I wouldn't say that at all. They're a very different boat to us. On paper, we look similar, both 100-footers, but we're in quite different corners of the design box. So their strengths and weaknesses are quite different to ours. So at the moment, it looks as though it suits us slightly more, but 6 days out, they can easily change, and they just need 6 hours in really good conditions for them, and they can make up a lot of ground. So we'll see and do our best.
Big question, record-breaking wind?
Oh, no idea. I don't do ETAs even for my wife. She gets very frustrated. Sailing's a terrible sport for that. But look, at the moment, it looks like a fast run. But ask me again in 2 or 3 days and see if it still looks that way.
Well, good luck to you. Have a safe journey. And we wish them all well, of course, kicking off on Boxing Day. A mixed bag of weather and hopefully a safe trip for everyone down there.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
Good on you, Damo. You're watching Nine's Afternoon News. Here's what's making news right now. Dramatic scenes as police arrest a man believed to be making bomb threats at New South Wales Parliament House. A man accused of murdering a Korean person in Brisbane faces court for the first time. And 70 people injured, 7 seriously, after a terrifying night at London's Apollo Theatre. The man arrested in a dramatic showdown outside New South Wales Parliament House in Sydney this afternoon was known to police. The 58-year-old from the Wollongong area is accused of making bomb threats from his car, which was parked outside the building. About 10 officers swooped in, smashing the driver and rear windows before subduing him on the ground.
That man attempted to light a cigarette lighter, wind the windows of the cars up, with what we believe to be a container of flammable liquid in the vehicle. Those officers put their lives on the line this afternoon, and they resolved the situation in a peaceful manner, but that is to be commended, and they've done an outstanding job.
And we'll have the full details for our Sydney viewers tonight at 6. The man convicted of killing truck driver Bob Knight has not only lost his appeal for a sentence reduction, but will actually spend more time behind bars. Let's cross straight to Nine's Simon Boda. Simon, tell us what happened in court today.
Peter, it was a very interesting day when you look at it. It was a decision by the Court of Criminal Appeal. Now, Mahmoud Mariam had appealed against his sentence of 6 years for the killing of the manslaughter of truckie Bob Knight. At the same time, the Director of Public Prosecutions had lodged an appeal saying that the sentence in the first place was manifestly inadequate. Now, obviously, there was a hearing some months ago. That hearing was then thought about by a panel of 3 judges, and today they handed down their decision. They decided, in fact, that they would not lessen the sentence that Mahmoud Mariam would face, but they would, in fact, increase it by 3 years and 9 months. Now, his daughter, Bob Knight's daughter, Kath Knight, and his son, David Knight, were both in court. Kath actually cried at the time that decision was handed down. Here's what she told us outside.
I'm very happy. If you can be happy, you have to be happy, I suppose. That's what we're here for today. But I don't know, it's still going to happen. People are still going to get shot here. Hey, they're still going to get king hit. They're still going to do everything. But, you know, I know the Mr O'Farrell and the Attorney General, they pushed. They did the right thing. We asked for it, and they pushed, and for extra time, and, you know, we got it.
So, Simon, when will Mahmoud Mariam be due for release?
Well, Pete, he'll be due for release at the earliest possible time will be January 2020. Now, at the same time that the Knight family was in court, so were his wife and his father. Obviously, they weren't too happy with this decision at all and left the court quite upset. But he will be eligible for parole in January 2020. Pete?
OK, Simon Boda reporting there. Thank you very much. Police have released CCTV footage in the hope of finding a man who sexually assaulted a woman in Melbourne earlier this month. Live to Laura Spurway. Laura, what do we know about the attacker?
Well, Pete, police say that this footage gives them a better indication of the man they are looking for in relation to this attack. They've described him as being of Asian appearance, aged in his late teens to mid-20s, having a slim build. He was wearing a grey hoodie and a black cap. and also carrying a skateboard at the time of the attack. Police are also still speaking with the 24-year-old victim. We have already heard her version of events. We know that she struck up a conversation with the man just outside a car dealership in South Melbourne, and then she took a phone call. While she was on the phone, the man crept up behind her, covered her mouth, and then dragged her in the car yard before assaulting her. And today, police told us a little bit more about the victim's ordeal that night.
He initially sat on her and demanded her mobile telephone and went through her bag and her wallet, and then the sexual assault then took place. He pinned her down for almost 10 minutes and she struggled the whole time and quite bravely fought him off.
Now, Pete, the footage shows us the man rode his skateboard along this bridge behind me, the Princes Bridge, past Flinders Street Station and then into the CBD. But after that, police really have no record of his whereabouts. They don't know his current location, and they are appealing for anybody who may recognise this man, who may have seen this man, to contact Crime Stoppers.
OK, Laura, thank you. A Korean man has appeared in court charged over the murder of another 28-year-old Korean man in Brisbane. Min Tai Kim's body was found in a shallow grave in the suburb of Alcester yesterday. Sang Wang Wang made no application for bail and will remain behind bars until the matter's heard again next month. Police allege the pair didn't know each other but had arranged to meet up to exchange Australian cash for Korean currency. Detectives are investigating the suspicious death of an 18-year-old man whose body was found in a home on the Gold Coast. Emergency services were called to the property at Southport at about 8 o'clock this morning. A 46-year-old woman is in hospital under police guard. It was a terrifying night at the theatre in London's West End when a ceiling caved in at the historic Apollo building. More than 70 people were injured. 7 of those were seriously hurt as the roof crumbled during a performance.
The panic here began at 8:15 p.m. during a packed performance of the play The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime.
Someone killed her dog with a fork.
The audience heard a strange sound.
But it was one of those surreal moments where you're there and something happens, and to begin with you think it's part of the show, and then people start clambering over you.
It was the ceiling of the theatre collapsing.
We heard a creak, and then the ceiling, which is presumably plaster or something, it just slowly, and then just the whole thing just collapsed, just suddenly like that.
Suddenly there's this massive crash and a massive section of it came down, room filled with dust straight away.
Then what we felt was debris falling on us, a loud bang, debris falling on us, and then all of a sudden there was like a coat of dust that came on us.
More than 700 audience members suddenly rushing to escape the falling ceiling of this famed theatre, more than 100 years old and located in the heart of London's theatre district. Stretchers rolling the injured out, others walking with bandaged heads. 81 reportedly injured, 7 seriously, hit by debris from a ceiling as high as a 5-story building.
After days of blistering heat, South Australia is about to get the cool change it's been waiting for. We cross live to Nine's Eddie Godfrey for more details. Eddie, can you update us on the situation?
Well, we've been sweltering again here in Adelaide, reaching a top of 39.9 degrees just after 1 this afternoon. But the good news is it is just starting to cool down now. Now, this follows 2 straight days above 40 degrees, which has kept fire crews on high alert. And they were kept busy again last night thanks to a deliberately lit blaze out in the northern suburbs. Around 10 o'clock, a grass fire at Ulibri scorched some 30 hectares of land and threatened nearby homes. More than 100 firefighters eventually getting that under control, and fortunately they had it completely out by this morning. Now, hot stretches like this usually keep our paramedics very busy treating people for heat-related illnesses, and while they say they haven't had too many cases over the last few days, they are warning us to be vigilant with a long and hot summer ahead. Let's take a listen.
Obviously, with elderly people with the medical issues, if they have heart problems or breathing problems, this can impact on their normal medical conditions. We encourage people to contact people that are in high risk or live alone.
Now, a cool change will move through this evening, bringing some possible showers and some much needed relief. A much more comfortable top of around 27 degrees for tomorrow. Kate?
All right, Eddie, thank you very much. Still ahead.